Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M327556, case of style the state of Texas versus Kimberly Michelle Barton. We have Ms. Barton as present in court. Ms. Barton, how are you doing? You doing okay? Fine, that's good. Now, Ms. Barton, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Rife Kimbler. Attorney Kimbler, how you doing?
Well, thank you.
That's good. And the state is represented in this case by attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
That's good. Now, Ms. Barton was found guilty by a jury on June the 7th. Yes. Excuse me. June the 7th of 2023. And the court had reset this case for a pre-sentence investigation report to be conducted. And the case was set on this date, August 9th, for punishment. State, have you received a copy of the pre-sentence investigation report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you reviewed that report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any objections to the findings, well, to what is in that report?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any thing that you think need to be added to the report that's not in the report?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Kimbler, have you received a copy of this pre-sentence investigation report?
I have, Your Honor.
And you went over this report with your client?
That's correct.
And do y'all have any objections, or do y'all have any additions or deletions that need to be made to this report?
Just the extent that we're contesting, I think the recommendation in the report seems to be that she's not a suitable candidate for probation. We would disagree with that.
Okay, that was just a recommendation. Okay. So the court has reviewed the pre-sentence investigation report that has been drafted in this case. The court is going to take judicial notice of the pre-sentence investigation report. Now, at this time, Mr. Hubel, do the state has anything regarding the punishment?
One thing, Your Honor, I'm asking that all evidence is admitted for the purpose of guilt, innocence, also be admitted in the punishment phase.
Okay, it will. No objections?
I retendered it. No, Your Honor, subject to the court's rulings and my objections, re-urge all objections that I've made previously to it. But of course, whatever the court wants to take judicial notice of as far as the evidence be taken.
Okay.
Court's guilt, innocence.
Okay, court will take judicial notice of the evidence that's has been presented.
And you've already taken judicial notice of the PSI.
Yes, and you take judicial notice of the pre-sentence investigation report as well.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Kimbler?
As far as argument, Your Honor, I think the recommendation of pre-sentence report regarding the defendant's unsuitability for probation is not well taken, and that she is presently on felony probation and is in good standing on that to date, I believe. There was an initial motion to revoke probation that was filed when this case first was initiated by the state, and that was adjudicated in Ms. Barton's favor. She was continued on probation, and that NTRP was dismissed. She, I think this case has been pending around 3 years before we went to trial. She's maintained compliance with her felony probation during that time period. So I think she has a demonstrated record of being able to do probation, successfully complete that. So I understand she's maintaining her innocence in this case and has advised me to take appropriate steps to preserve her appellate rights, which I intend to do. Notice of appeal and affidavit of agency filed pro se for her. But pending the resolution of that, we would ask that the court sentence her to term of probation. Of course, if the court does that, it would be appropriate to assess restitution as well, which I don't think would be possible if she were to receive jail time on this. So that's another factor, I think, that militates in favor of probation, is the ability of the court to order restitution to make the victims whole in this case. Ms. Barton probably wants to address the court as well.
Ms. Barton? He said you probably would like to address the court.
No, I would like it appealed. I mean, I am innocent, and I shouldn't have proved that somehow. You know, I'm not guilty of this case. If I was, I would take it and take my punishment. But this time, I'm not guilty. So I do want to file an appeal.
Okay. And Mr. Hugh,
Yes, Your Honor.
do you have any recommendations regarding punishment?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe that the PSI's assessment that Ms. Barton is not an appropriate candidate for probation is a correct assessment based on the fact that she's been placed on multiple probations before, nearly half of which, 3 out of 7, she has been revoked on. And in fact, in the pendency, in fact, at the time of offense, in this case, she was on felony probation. So I find it highly unlikely that if she's granted probation, she will comply with the conditions of probation. And furthermore, like her statement to probation for the purposes of the PSI shows a clear lack of remorse and unwillingness to accept responsibility in this case, even after the decision of a jury of her peers and based on the evidence that was in trial. And she even attacks the fairness of the trial in this case. So all those things in mind, in combination with her long criminal history, both misdemeanor and felony, I think it would be inappropriate in this case to grant her probation. What the state would ask for as a recommendation in this case is the jail sentence of 60 days, or in the alternative, if the court does decide to grant probation, a lengthy adjudicated probation would be appropriate.
Okay, now, Ms. Barton, the court have read the PSI report. And in the PSI report, I think there are some things that we will consider mitigating as well as aggravating. But if we look at, I'm looking at the report. And certainly under the social and personal history, apparently there were some things that happened in your life that had some, I would think, some major effect upon the person that you are today. Okay, now give her some tissue. Okay, and okay, and just for the record, the court is just sorry that you had to endure what you had to endure, and the after effects of some of the things that has happened to you in your life. The court will also note you do have a lengthy criminal history, and we see that from this report that basically you've been on probation since 2012. Is that correct? No, that's the date of the offense. You've been on probation 2014. Since May of 2014. And I do know that this probation that you've been on for since 2014 has not been revoked. I understand that with this probation, they didn't see fit to revoke your probation. Okay, the court is going to, state an alternative, ask for lengthy adjudicated probation. The court is going to, ask, well, the court will, this is a, also there's some restitution involved in this case.
$598.
Is it $598?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that is to
County Sports Network.
Academy. Oh, a minute. This is a class. Class B, okay.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, the court is going to assess punishment at 180 days to be Jefferson County Jail. That jail time is going to be probated for a period of 2 years. I see that Ms. Barton, she is currently on probate,
Mental health caseload.
Yeah. and but also see that her income, she's on disability. Is that correct? Okay. In terms of a fine, it'd be $200 fine plus court costs, and the restitution in the amount of $598 payable to Academy. And
He's already paying probation fees. So there's
Yeah.
really no-
since you're already paying probation fees, you won't have to pay no additional probation fees, no additional restitution fee.
Or supervision.
And she's probably, let me do this here. We're gonna assess 60 hours of community service. And that will be,
Concurrent.
yeah, that'll be running concurrent with the felony. And this case is gonna run concurrent with the felony case. Do we have a clause number on that?
Yes, Holmes County, I don't believe.
Huh?
No,
No, it's here. It's in drug court.
There's one
Okay.
from
Holmes County.
the 2014 case.
Yeah,
There's no probation, but I understand.
I think as far as I see, it's just this one. Do we have that? It should be the one she got on in 2014, I think. I think that's the one that's still active. Is that correct?
That's what I
Right.
see.
I think that's the drug court case.
Delivery of controlled substance.
Yes. You got a cause number?
Okay.
Did we?
Let me give it on.
Yeah, they don't have the cause.
Yeah, it's not listed.
Should have been, she got on May 12th, 2014. 2014? Should have been May 12th, 2014. I know she's on, I just not, well, we'll get the cause number. Do you have, let me look up. But they don't have a cause number on it. For 2014.
Let's see if you got it.
Then let me do this here. Okay, this case will run concurrent with cause number F13-16714. Okay. Oh, y'all need to fill out that form. You know, the
Appellate certification.
Jefferson County, trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. And this is 180 for 2 years, $200 fine plus court cost restitution to Academy in the amount of $598.
Right,
And okay,
from Ada.
I'll just go ahead on and
Or.
restate the punishment in this case is the defendant is served 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, that jail time will be probated, which means that the defendant will not be serving jail time, but however, she'll be placed on probation for a period of 2 years. During the 2 years probationary period, she'll be required to pay a fine of $200 plus court costs. She's also the probation fee of $60 plus the we're gonna have to figure it out. What's the court cost? Get. Yeah, I'm gonna need to calculate it up. Okay, now, Ms. Barton, the court is such punishment 180 days in jail. However, you'll be placed on probation for a period of 2 years. During the 2-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $200 plus court costs of $337 plus a probation fee of $60 each month, urinalysis fee. Okay, urinalysis fee of $15 each month, a reimbursement fee of $15 plus a restitution fee of $598. Now, that comes to an amount of $128 a month. However, because you're already on probation, the court is going to take out that $60 probation fee and the restitution fee of $15. So that leaves an amount of $53 a month. Will you be able to pay the $53 each month? Okay, let me do this here. When you say you was try, so you think you won't be able to pay it? And so if you're not able to pay it, do you have an affidavit? Somebody said they had an affidavit.
I'll filing one in the conjunction with the.
Well, I just need to find out from her right now. I need to just get some, do we get her some financial information? Give me an affidavit so that we can give to her. Isn't it up there?
Oh.
Yeah, she can do it right now, so we can take a look and see whether or not she's indigent. Just have her, y'all can fill that information out. Just have a seat.